Italy is more than Venice gondolas and Colosseum selfies. Deep in the hills, on untouched coastlines, and inside forgotten villages are places locals whisper about, but never make it into guidebooks. In this video, you'll uncover ancient pathways, secret swimming caves, hidden vineyards, and ghost towns that feel frozen in time. If you're ready to escape the crowds and experience the Italy most travelers never see, this is for you. We begin with the tips of the day. Don't just rely on Google Maps or TripAdvisor. Ask locals what their favorite quiet place is, that one village or beach they go to when they want to be alone. You'll uncover places not found on any list, and sometimes that's where the real magic hides. The wind brushes past as you step onto the narrow footbridge suspended high above a canyon. This is Civita di Bagnoregio, often referred to as the Dying Town. This centuries-old village clings to the top of a steep cliff, and the only way to reach it is by walking across a narrow footbridge suspended high above the valley floor. For those who appreciate history, Civita tells the story of resilience against erosion and abandonment, as only a handful of residents still live here today. What makes it interesting for visitors is the balance between solitude and preservation. You won't find large crowds or modern shops, just local artisans who sell handmade ceramics and traditional foods. At sunset, the golden light bathes the village and the valley, making it one of the most photogenic sights in Italy. Visitors can walk the alleys in silence, pause at small chapels, and understand why locals consider this fragile town a treasure worth protecting. It is a destination where quiet reflection and cultural appreciation go hand in hand. From the hills of Lazio, we now head one of Italy's quietest beaches hides behind rocky cliffs where white sand warms your feet, and the only sounds are waves and birds. This is Cala in Sardinia. Cala is a half-moon-shaped cove accessible only by boat or through a rugged hiking path from Cala. The difficulty in reaching it is part of what keeps it a secret. The beach is lined with caves carved into limestone cliffs, offering natural shade and shelter. It's known for its unusually fine white sand and transparent water, which shifts in color depending on the time of day. One of the most exciting aspects of Cala is exploring the sea caves, shallow but wide enough to walk into and cool off in. During early morning or late evening, this beach is often empty, giving travelers a rare feeling of private access. Cala is best visited during spring or late summer for a tranquil swim or a quiet moment away from popular coastal towns. Leaving the coastline behind, we make our way to the northern countryside, where water flows under a stone bridge. This is Borghetto sul Mincio in Veneto. The village sits between Verona and Mantua, and it feels like a living postcard. Built around the 13th century, its stone buildings rest directly on the banks of the Mincio River. There are no modern attractions, no crowds, and no noise, just the sound of water flowing beneath medieval bridges. One particularly unique feature is the Visconteo Bridge, which dates to 1393 and offers panoramic views of the surrounding green hills. Borghetto is also famous for its tortellini, especially during the annual Tortellini Festival, where chefs prepare thousands of portions fresh along the river. What makes this village stand out is its atmosphere, calm, historic, and always tied to the rhythm of the water. It's a place that encourages visitors to slow down, engage their senses, and enjoy a rare combination of nature, cuisine, and preserved architecture without tourist interference. Next, we ascend into the Apennine Mountains, where a fortified village offers peace. Stone paths rise through mountain air. This is Santo Stefano di Sessanio. It is not a recreation or an open-air museum. It's a real place where people still live inside stone buildings that date back to the Middle Ages. Located over 4,000 feet above sea level, the town is surrounded by the Gran Sasso Mountains and feels completely cut off from modern urban life. What makes this place particularly interesting is how it's been revitalized without losing its historic character. A few residents and entrepreneurs have restored abandoned buildings and turned them into small inns that preserve original features, like stone fireplaces and timber ceilings, while adding basic comforts. Hiking trails from the village lead to alpine meadows, ancient towers, and views over valleys that change with the season. Travelers who come here often cite the silence and night skies as highlights. Because there are no bright lights, the stars appear with full clarity. Santo Stefano is a rare example of authentic mountain life preserved through care rather than tourism. From the peaks of Abruzzo, we return to the coast, this time to a place white pebbles shift beneath your steps as cliffs rise behind you, steep and quiet. This is Spiaggia di Sansone, located a short drive from Portoferraio. Sansone Beach is a narrow stretch of white pebbles, backed by steep cliffs and accessible only via a short downhill footpath. Its waters are crystal clear, with a distinct turquoise tint, which has made it a favorite among locals for snorkeling and swimming. Unlike many Italian beaches, there are no large hotels or resorts lining the coast, just a small cafe nearby and space to lay down a towel. What makes this spot special is the underwater life. Even in shallow areas, fish swim around rocks and crevices, offering incredible visibility. Most tourists stop at more accessible beaches like Fedovia or Cavoli, making Sansone feel like a private cove during the weekdays. For photographers, the contrast of white stones and glowing water under direct sunlight creates vibrant scenes. Spiaggia di Sansone remains a top choice for travelers seeking simplicity, nature, and the feeling of finding something truly off the radar. Now we shift inland, towards southern Italy, where a village clings to jagged rocks and stone stairways lead through quiet alleys. This is Castelmezzano, in the Basilicata region. Built into jagged rock formations, the town appears almost camouflaged. It is not just visually dramatic, it's also physically active. One of the most talked about experiences here is the Flight of the Angel, a zip line connecting Castelmezzano to the neighboring village of Pietrapertosa. Riders glide across a wide valley at speeds over 70 miles per hour, suspended high above the trees. Aside from the adrenaline, the area is known for scenic hiking trails, small local restaurants, and panoramic viewpoints that overlook untouched terrain. Here, visitors often encounter locals tending to small gardens or enjoying conversation in the town square. Its appeal lies in the contrast between raw geography and human adaptation, how homes, walkways, and daily life operate in an environment that seems challenging at first glance. Castelmezzano rewards visitors not with attractions, but with perspective on both landscape and lifestyle. Our next location leads us into the forest, where ancient burial chambers carved into cliffs lie hidden under moss. There are no signs yet of buildings and no crowds. This is Norchia. It is not a city. It's a collection of burial chambers carved directly into the tufa cliffs, mostly hidden by overgrown forest. To reach it, visitors walk through fields and narrow woodland paths that gradually reveal moss-covered tombs and stone staircases. What makes Norchia extraordinary is its scale and secrecy. There are no large signs or entry fees. The site feels untouched, even though its origins date back over 2,000 years. While many tourists visit Pompeii or Herculaneum for a look at ancient history, Norchia offers a raw, unsupervised alternative. Here, photographers and history enthusiasts are drawn to the way light and vegetation interact with stone. Norchia isn't about spectacle, It's about quiet discovery, slow exploration, and learning about a civilization that predates the Roman Empire in a space that feels like a lost chapter of history. Heading back toward the coastline, we arrive at a place tucked deep beneath the famous roads of the Amalfi coast. Below, a cove hides quietly between two rocky walls. This is Furore Fjord, one of the least known corners of this coastline. Hidden between cliffs, this narrow beach lies beneath a tall arch bridge that connects two cliffs by road. What stands out about Furore is the minimal development and enclosed atmosphere. Unlike open beaches, this one feels private and almost cave-like. The fjord hosts an annual high diving competition from the bridge, but during most of the year, it's calm. Visitors can access it via stairs that wind down from the road, and the best time to go is in the early morning when the light filters through the rock walls. There are also small walking paths along the rock face and abandoned fishermen houses that hint at the area's history. For travelers wanting a quiet stop along the Amalfi coast, Furore offers both isolation and intimacy. From sea to stone, we now reach Tuscany's open countryside, where a Gothic abbey stands tall without a roof. As you approach, tall stone arches rise from a flat field. This is the Abbey of San Galgano, a roofless church surrounded by quiet fields. Unlike other religious sites in Italy, this abbey no longer holds services, yet its skeletal structure draws those interested in architecture and history. Built in the 13th century, San Galgano was abandoned after a lightning strike destroyed its roof. What remains is a roofless Gothic nave with pointed arches and tall columns that frame the sky above. The church is open air and feels larger because of it. Visitors to the Abbey can walk freely through the open church, observe architectural details, and visit the chapel without tour guides or long lines. It's a space that invites both curiosity and reflection, especially for travelers interested in medieval history, art, or simply being in a space that feels unfiltered by tourism. To end our journey, we head deep underground to a vast system of natural chambers that feel like a world away from the Italy most travelers see. This is the Grotte di Frasassi, one of the largest cave systems in Europe, located in the Marche region. Entry is only allowed via guided tours, which begin with a walk into a natural cathedral so vast that it could fit Milan's Duomo. The temperature remains a steady 54 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, and the walkways lead visitors through chambers filled with stalactites, underground lakes, and rock formations, with official names based on their shape. One chamber, called the Room of the Candles, features hundreds of small stalagmites rising from the floor. Another chamber includes a pure white crystallized lake. The tour is safe and accessible, with well-lit paths and railings, and guides explain both geological processes and historical discoveries. What makes Grotte di Frasassi compelling is its unexpected contrast. In a country famous for churches and castles, it's a reminder that Italy's most impressive structures aren't always man-made. Which secret destination captured your imagination? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to check out our next video, Hidden Gems in the Philippines. But watch out for these tourist traps. It is packed with real travel insights. Click here to watch it now, and we'll see you in the next one.